subject will be the third part of taking my lathe apart. Today I'm going to try and tackle taking this whole assembly off for a good cleaning. And some of my resources are, I printed out a step-by-step instruction manual from the machinist website. If you're a beginner hobbyist like me, that's a great resource. There's a ton of guys on there that are very knowledgeable and are happy to answer any newbie questions. I'm going to be using YouTube. There's a video by, now forgive me if I pronounce your name wrong, Sila Dog. He has a video on replacing the belt on an Atlas lathe, which is very similar to my lathe. And because I'm very new and I'm not exactly sure what all the part names are that are listed here, I also have a printout of a parts list for the Atlas lathe. It's a great little resource, and it has everything listed for me. So here we go, trying to take the headstock apart. So the first step is to remove the set screw, take this collet off, and then go on to the next step. But I did notice that the set screw is missing, and there should be a brass plug also, and the brass plug is there to protect the threads on this spindle, I think this is called. So I hope this isn't a pain to get this off. I'm going to try putting an Allen wrench in there and using that as a lever to loosen this up. So that's what I'm going to try now. Well, that seemed to work. So now I'm just turning the spindle. Just needs a good cleaning. All right. One step down. Now this gear is supposed to slide off. Just make sure that this is disengaged. It's on there pretty tight. Oh, there we go. That came off. Once again, I'll give this a good cleaning. There's a woodruff key right here. I'm going to just try and gently pry it out. Try a pair of pliers. Try to persuade this woodruff key to come out. Can't seem to get a good grip on it. Alright, I'm going to take a piece of wood and a rubber mallet and see if I can rock the key back and forth, and hopefully it'll come loose. Well, according to my eye, this thing hasn't budged at all. And I noticed some nick marks on this, so whoever put this together the last time, or the last time this was apart, they seem to really jammed it in there kind of tight. Wondering if some penetrating oil would help. Actually, I'm going to put a little bit of that purple degreaser, see if that'll loosen it up. about 20 minutes, maybe close to a half hour has passed to get this little woodruff key out. I just kept using just a piece of metal and my rubber mallet just to kind of keep working it back and forth. It wasn't moving at all, and I was just slowly rocking it back and forth, and then every so often I would try to use some of that purple degreaser to see if it would get in the crack and hopefully break something loose. I'm really loath hitting machinery, metal on metal. It's just sort of against my nature, but I guess, and I was also paranoid that I was going to slip and ruin these threads, but I took my time and I just would tap back and forth, back and forth. I was hitting it a little bit harder than I would like, but finally this key is out. And the next step is this part here. You know, the collar here is too big. You know, I mentioned something about removing some back assembly thing, and I believe it's this, because these gears are blocking this. So here we go. I got to take these off. So those came off pretty easy, or loosened pretty easy. Right. Good. All right. So in this middle of this pulley, you can see that there's a screw. So I just got to loosen that. So there's a couple more set screws. One's here, and one's in there. I had to clean it out. It was full of sawdust, and I actually thought it was missing. So I'm going to loosen those up now. This one collet had a second set screw, so I located that and loosened it. Now the next step apparently is to hit this spindle and knock the front bearing cover off. So let's move this back a little bit. Once again, I always a little nervous about hitting something, my machine tools with, but here we go. Alright, we're starting to get some movement. Well, it is coming loose. All right. Just going to double check if I'm doing this the right way, because I'm just paranoid about breaking something. All right. Well, I've whacked this as much as I dare to whack it. Part of the problem was this bearing dust cover needs to pop off, and you're supposed to be able to knock this spindle out in a certain distance and this would pop off. But I was running into a problem. This I don't know what this is called, but this locks this bowl gear, but I can't pull it out because I don't know if you guys can see. There's some sort of pin that's been flattened over, so I can't pull it out any further this way so this whole assembly can move. But I was able to, this dust cover did move a little bit, and I think I can pry it off, so I'm going to try that now. There we go. Yeah, this thing needs to be cleaned up too. This spindle is supposed to be able to slide this way, and in here, sorry, there's a woodruff key. Let me see if I can locate it. There's a slot over there. Oop. I don't know if it shows up. There's a slot in here somewhere, and I can tell that's where the woodruff key needs to be, but I can't get this to come out anymore. I've sprayed everything with WD-40. I took out all the set screws and squirted WD-40 in there. Hopefully, I don't know, something will loosen up. You know, once again, this bull gear lock thing prevents me from going this way more. So I was hitting this area with a rubber mallet to try and get the spindle to come out more. The bearings, I can see them and they're loose, but I'm sort of at a roadblock, so I'm going to take a break, get something to eat, do a little bit more research, and see if I have a solution. But once again, I'm paranoid about breaking something on this, so I'm just going to do a little research. I did see something cool over here. Timken, some serial numbers, made in USA. Now I thought the date was supposed to be stamped on here somewhere. So I'll look for that information. I don't know if it was on the front or the back, where the back bearings are. I'd like to know when this lathe was made. So that's it for now. At a roadblock, kind of frustrating. Evil Twin X signing off.